How's it going, my dreamers? This is Born to Dream here with another raid boss guide for you guys. But you guys will notice that this is not a tier 3 raid boss guide. This is a tier 4 raid boss guide. And you might be thinking to yourself, why are you doing a tier 4 raid boss guide? Because you can solo tier 4 raid bosses now. In case you didn't know that. You can definitely do it now. So, stuff that has previously been soloed by certain individuals are Absol, Tyranitar, Rhydon, and I haven't seen anyone solo a Golem, but if you have a full maxed out team of Kyogres, which coincidentally we are in the middle of a Kyogre event right now, you could solo a Golem. Golem's not around right now, but you know, in case it comes back, you could solo it in rainy weather with a maxed out team of Kyogres. I don't know if I'm going to be trying to do that anytime soon, but yeah, you can solo these raid bosses now because they changed the formula, so now super effective moves do more damage, and obviously for mons like Shiftry that have a quadruple weakness to certain types, that makes them significantly easier, and it's possible to solo them. Now, I'm not going to do a solo raid boss guide for every tier 4, only the ones that you could walk into and consistently do a solo. Shiftry is one of those Pokemon because, like I mentioned before, it has a quadruple weakness to bug types, being a dark and grass type. So, let's go over why exactly Shiftry is easy to solo. It's not always because of the quadruple weakness. It is also extremely frail, like very, 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 very frail. I would say it's probably, it might be as frail as Gengar. So if Gengar was like a tier 4 right now, I know we had like a tier 4 Gengar a couple months back, but that was before the super effective update. Now that they have the update, I'm sure if they brought back Gengar as a tier 4, you'd be able to solo it. But yeah, Shiftry's not really a great Pokemon, to be honest. And I did draft Shiftry in my solo league twice, but that's only because like it's a very good mon in that sort of setting because it gets, you know, double stab on grass and dark types. You really don't have to worry about defenses when you're using a Shiftry. I mean, it has its uses in a solo league, but in terms of general usage, no, Shiftry's not really that great. But we'll go over the movesets, and there is a particular moveset you need to watch out for if you're going to solo Shiftry. So, we have Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade. We have Feint Attack, Foul Play. Razor Leaf, Foul Play. Feint Attack, Leaf Blade. Razor Leaf, Hurricane. And Feint Attack, Hurricane. Now, you can see that Hurricane probably isn't the best defensive move, but if you're trying to solo a Shiftry, it's probably the biggest move that you're going to have to worry about. Reason being is because a lot of the stuff that you're going to be bringing into a solo, it's going to be weak to Hurricane. If you're going to use fighting types, it's going to be weak to Hurricane. If you're going to use bug types, weak to Hurricane. The only types you can really use that are super effective against Shiftry is fire types. And I believe that's correct. So, oh, ice types too. Ice types too. But I don't know if there's any particular ice types that are really good against Shiftry. I don't know. We'll have to see, won't we? So, let's get into what it's weak against. I already named them all. But, yeah, you can see it's quadruple weak to bug. It's weak to fairy. It's weak to fairy. Weak to fairy types as well. Fighting, fire, flying, ice, poison. There's actually a lot of them I didn't mention. But yeah, you can see all the weaknesses here. So you really shouldn't have any problem with Shiftry. If all your mons are level 40 and you're using type effectiveness to your advantage, you shouldn't have too many problems with Shiftry here. Just as long as you don't go with any of these types, because that would be bad. That'd be very, very bad. So yeah, it's very frail, and there's a lot of counters you can use against it. Now, if you're looking for a perfect Shiftry, you might be looking for a perfect Shiftry. I don't know. I don't know your reasons for it. But if you want a perfect Shiftry is going to be 1, 3, 3, 3. Should be easy to remember, right? Level 20, 1, 3, 3, 3. If you really want to get a perfect Shiftry, I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not the greatest either. And then, if you want a perfect weather boosted Shiftry, so either you're doing this in clear weather or you're doing this in foggy weather. I don't know if you could really solo a Shiftry in foggy weather, but I mean, if you duo it, then this is what you're looking at. 1, 6, 6, 6. That's really easy to remember. 1, 3, 3, 3. 1, 6, 6, 6. And I know internet. I said 6 3 times. Don't get overexcited. So yeah, there you go. So we're gonna go into the raid counters, but unfortunately, GamePress does not have the little raid counter thing here. So I'm gonna do something different. I'll be right back. Okay, so in case you guys didn't know, this is actually PokeBattler. I'm not gonna show you the exact website because I'm in full screen right now and I don't want to get out of it. But it's basically this.com. If you didn't know, this is PokeBattler, and this is how you find out all the simulations for soloing. Well, for raids in general and for gym battles as well. But a lot of people use this as a sort of well, it's a simulator for like soloing. I think most people use it for maybe duoing or trioing as well if you're doing like legendaries or harder tier 4s like Metagross, for example. But this is PokeBattler, and as you can see, we have all the counters here for Shiftry. This is in extreme weather, so you're not going to see very good times, but you guys could kind of see some of the weird stuff you can use. Like, you can use a freaking Beautifly in this, which might be fun. Ninjask, too. Like, if you have some Venomoths for the Executor challenge, like a long time ago, you can use a few Venomoths as well. Maybe we'll have to see about that. But this is basically all the best mons in extreme weather, which is basically a weather where like nothing is boosted. So you can see like Scizor and Pinsir don't even need a weather boost to take down Shiftry. This is with no dodging, by the way. So everything that you're going to see is with no dodging. So yeah, so they both could definitely take it down. Pinsir might have to dodge a little bit. As you can see, there's like 6 deaths right there. But otherwise, it's not really that much of a problem. Now, let's talk about the different weathers here. So, the ones that I'm going to pick out are the ones that you should probably go for when you're soloing a Shiftry. So, first up, we got clear weather. Well, I'll put a disclaimer. I'm not 100% sure if you could solo Shiftry in every single one of these weathers, but I feel like you can in the weathers that I'm picking out. That makes sense. But here you go with clear weather, and as you can see, we got a few fire types here. But what you want to look for is you want to make sure that it is under, well, if it's around 180 seconds, that's good. Keep in mind, you're probably going to want to use No Party Trick 2 when you're doing Tier 4 solos, especially for Tier 4 solos, because they're not easy. You'll probably run very low on time, so you want every possible second you can have. So basically, the 3 you want to use is, well, the 4 you want to use is Pinsir, Scizor, Moltres, Scyther. These guys down here aren't really going to get the job done. I guess you can use a few of them, like Blaziken, and I don't know about Heatran, but you can use, like, Charizard and Entei if you don't have, like, 6 maxed out Pinsirs or 6 maxed out Scizors. I'm sure a lot of people don't have that, so you can use a few Community Day Charizards. You might still be okay, but Charizard's just not gonna be able to out DPS Moltres or Scizor or Pinsir. So we have that, and we can check out movesets too. If we look at Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade, it gets a little better. Moltres might be able, if you have 4 Moltreses, you might be able to solo it if you get lucky. And then if you go to like Fantattack Foul Play, doesn't get a whole lot better. Not really. But Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to rainy weather. Now, this is the weather you absolutely want. Like, this is the best weather to solo Shiftry in if you are, if you want an easy solo. As you can see, time to win for a team would be like 154. If you have 6 pincers, that's 136 seconds to win. So that's kind of insane for a tier 4. That's ridiculous. Like, usually with these tier 4 solos, you are generally close to like a few seconds. Like, you might be a few seconds off when you solo these tier 4s. So yeah, that's interesting. But as you can see, we got a lot of bug types now. Bug types are basically what you're going to use for Shiftry. In all honesty, you're probably not going to use any of these down here. But I mean, you could go in with Beedrills and Butterfrees and Beautiflies, as long as you have a few Pincers and Scizors in the front. Ninjask, if you have, well, I don't know if you could do an all Ninjask solo or an all Venomoth solo, but that might be cool to see if someone could pull that off. That'd be pretty awesome, actually. So that about does it for Rainy. We could look for a certain moveset, like Razor Leaf Leaf Blade. Does anything really change? Yeah. Oh, if you find Razor Leaf Leaf Blade, boom, there you go. You could do all Ninjask or all Venomoth solo. That would be pretty cool. Or even all Beautifly, or maybe not Beedrill. But, like, that's... if you want to max out, like, 5 Ninjask, because Ninkatas do hatch from 7k eggs, so, yeah. I don't know. You might want to give it a shot. So, we're going to move on to, if you can't get rainy weather, I think cloudy weather is the next best thing. Because, you know, you get Breloom and Machamp in the mix. And as you guys will see, I use Breloom and Machamp in these solos, and they actually do pretty good. Like, I think, honestly, if you have a few Pincers or Scizors, like, anything that's here in this general area is fine, but just be aware that you might fail. Anything down here, you probably will fail, but anything in this area here, any mons you see in this area, you might be able to do it. If you have Pinsir and Scizor up front. Or if you have multiple, that's even better. But we can go ahead and we can look at Fantattack Foul Play to see if any fighting types move up the list. And if you have 5 Machamps, you might be able to solo it with just 5 Machamps. So a lot of people have a lot of maxed out Machamps, so it's not crazy for... wouldn't be too crazy for someone to do this. Actually, I think I saw someone actually do that on the Self Road, but yeah. So next up, we got let's go Windy here. Let's see if I don't know about Windy, but let's see if maybe you could solo it in Windy. The only thing that really changes is Moltres. Like, if you have a few Sky Attack Moltres, you could probably do it. But other than that, nothing really changes. Nothing really catches my eye here. So Rayquaza, I mean, I guess you might be able to get away with Rayquaza too, but Rayquaza won't do that much damage. Let's see real quick. Moltres dies faints less often. That's good, but other than that, yeah, not much changes in Windy. Snowy weather. We got snowy weather here. Weavile moves up the list, but I don't think Weavile really is that good in this particular solo. So yeah. That's about it. And then there's Fog and Partly Cloudy. Stay away from Fog and Partly Cloudy. I don't think you can actually... I don't know if you can pull off a solo in either one of these weathers. I can check real quick, but I don't think... Not really. I mean... Yeah, I guess if you have 6 Scizors, you might be able to get away with it. Same for Foggy, I'm sure. If you had... I wonder if you could do it with, like, Fantattack Foul Play. Can you? No, you can't. Okay. Yeah, you can't solo a Fantattack Foul Play in foggy weather, it looks like. But you could still solo a Shiftry in foggy weather if you get foggy weather. So, one thing I should mention before we move on to the battles is try your best to avoid Hurricane as much as possible, because we can even see, even in rainy weather, if we go to Hurricane, and let's say Fan Attack Hurricane, I mean, the times don't really change that much, but they do change a little bit, and you might want to stay away from, like, Heracross, for example, because Hurricane can absolutely wreck Heracross. You can see the deaths. They definitely go up, because Heracross is 4 times weak to Hurricane, and then you can see, like, Beautifly and Beedrill. Yeah, it gets pretty ridiculous down here. Try to stay away from Hurricane if you can. That's not to say that you can't solo a Hurricane Shiftry, but try to stay away from it. That's all I'm saying. So, unfortunately, you guys won't see me solo a Hurricane Shiftry, because I did find one, but I couldn't complete it. So, anyways. Let's go ahead and move on to the battles. Alright, so, first up, we have Leaf Blade Shiftry. Now, as you guys can see, I am doing the no party trick. Highly recommend you do this if you're going to do tier 4 solos, because they're not easy. They're not easy. Even though I said Shiftry is the easiest raid boss, that's a tier 4, it's still not easy. You still need to have maxed out stuff. So, in that sense, it's not easy, but if you have maxed out Mons, yeah, this is pretty easy. So, we're starting out with Leaf Blade here, and it honestly depends on what Mons you're using to decide which moveset is better. If you are using all bugs, Leaf Blade is easier. If you're using some fighters or some other Mons that are resistant to foul play, none of those Mons come to mind at the moment, but if you're using any of those Mons, then foul play is easier, because foul play just doesn't do that much. Now, you see me using Breloom here. Breloom is a very, very good glass cannon, just in general, especially now that it has Grass Knot. It's actually a fantastic Mon, so I would suggest getting those Grass Knot Brelooms, by the way, because if you have a few of those, then, like, either way, you're gonna have, like, the best attacker of its type, because Breloom is better than Machamp, but Machamp is bulkier, so yeah. But Breloom's very good to use here. Machamp's very good to use here. If you guys haven't noticed already, I am doing this in cloudy weather. I didn't use Scizor here because I was kind of using it as insurance in case, like, I needed to use Scizor. But you guys actually see I didn't use Scizor. So this is going to really show, like, how good Pinsir is, because I just opted not to use Scizor. It wasn't on purpose, but yeah. Anyways. So, as far as cloudy weather solos go, I mean, I showed you guys already. You can use Breloom, you can use Machamp, you can use Heracross as well. Although I think Double Bug for Heracross is better than, like, Bug Fighting. You can use Roserade as well. I want to try Roserade. Roserade would be interesting against this. It would be very, very interesting. I guess it does more DPS than Breloom, so I'll have to try that if I can ever get around to maxing out a Roserade. But those are, like, a few of the mods you can use. I don't know what else you can really use. You're really limited into what you can use against Shiftry because it's a tier 4 boss. So even though a mon might be very good against, like, super effective against it, doesn't necessarily mean that it would be good in a solo, because tier 4 raid bosses have such high HP. I don't know what it is for tier 4 raid bosses, but it's like 3k for tier 3, so I'd imagine it's like 4k for tier 4s. But anyways, we managed to solo this Shiftry, and Shiftry will be a little difficult to catch, just like any other tier 4 raid boss, because it's a fully evolved mon. So just for that reason alone, it won't be easy to catch. So, and you guys will see I kind of didn't do the best job trying to catch this because I was trying to get back to work. So, so I had to kind of rush back to work. So I was kind of doing this as I was trying to get back to work. So yeah. Alright, so next up is going to be Foul Play Shiftry. As I mentioned, I don't have Hurricane Shiftry for this solo guide. I think I have to do it in rainy weather to get a Hurricane Shiftry in. I wish I could show you guys, but the one I tried to do, I got dodge glitched, so it's kind of unfortunate. But as you can see, I am using the Pinsir and Scizor here. You guys will see just how good these two are. They're actually pretty freaking good, considering, like, you know, I don't think these mons get talked about a lot, but I mean, they do have a pretty strong type advantage here. So this is probably where you're going to want to use fighters. Although, of course, you don't want to use all fighters. Or maybe you do. Maybe you want the challenge. But generally speaking, I don't think you want all fighters against Shiftry. You just want, you know, a few bug types and fighters. That's a guaranteed win right there. So, but you can see we're doing a lot of damage with Pinsir and Scizor. So, yeah, this is really going to make a huge difference because unfortunately I didn't get that X Scizor off, but if I did, that would have been pretty sweet. But it went for Foul Play right then and there. So I'm using Breloom again, and yeah, Breloom's kind of doing its thing. Even for Breloom, like, the Foul Plays really aren't doing that much. So this is a situation where you're probably going to want to use Breloom, Machamp, maybe Blaziken, maybe Hariyama. Although they don't do as much as Breloom and Machamp. If you're gonna use Roserade, you gotta keep in mind that Foul Play will probably do a lot of damage to Roserade, whereas Leaf Blade is, I believe it is resisted. It's not 4 times resisted. It's just resisted. So yeah, so we're gonna keep going in with these Machamps. If you have a powered up team of Breloom and Machamps, by the way, you could definitely solo Absol. So if you have an Absol team ready, then Shiftry is really not a problem for you whatsoever. You just need like 1 or 2 bug types that are level 40 and bing bang boom. You could easily solo this thing. So as you can see, we're kind of close. We're kind of close to not being able to solo it. But I have seen people get pretty good times on Shiftry. This isn't going to be one of them, unfortunately. But I think I could do better if I went up. If I had Scizor in the Leaf Blade one, I think I could have gone like 12 seconds before the time ran out. Something like that. So, which isn't saying much, but I mean, it could have been better. So, if you're going to try Hurricane Shiftry, be ready to dodge. Be ready to dodge a lot. Unfortunately, I can't show you the solo, but I'd love to. But be ready to dodge. It's a pretty quick animation. It's not the quickest animation, but it might catch you by surprise every once in a while. Just be ready to dodge and, you know, hope you don't get dodge glitched like I did, basically. So, anyways. I'm going to go ahead and we'll sort of stop things off here as you guys watch me catch this Shiftry. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Next raid boss guide we're going to be doing is going to be on Crawdaunt. And I'm very, very close to getting that Crawdaunt solo raid boss guide ready. So be on the lookout for that. Probably come in the next day. I don't know. I have to find one more Crawdaunt and then we should be good. So I will see you guys then. Keep living the dream. Goodbye.